We would like to thank the following sponsors, exclusive partners, High Rewards, The Wise Millennial, Thoughtful Philippines. Special thanks to Forever Healthy Products Incorporated, StatUp Philippines Training, Official Career Partner, Corrects, Career Express Philippines.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful, be effective, be thoughtful.
Dreams will stay dreams if you don't plan a way to reach them. Be it for your travel goals, your dream home, your business, your child's education, or even your retirement. The Wise Millennial can help you plan out your future for you and your family. Book a session today and let's plan out your future. Pagdating sa pera, dapat wais.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful, be effective, be thoughtful.
Dreams will stay dreams if you don't plan a way to reach them. Be it for your travel goals, your dream home, your business, your child's education, or even your retirement. The Wise Millennial can help you plan out your future for you and your family. Book a session today and let's plan out your future. Pagdating sa pera, dapat wais.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful, Be effective. Be thoughtful. Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful. Be effective. Be thoughtful. Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful. Be effective. Be thoughtful.
We would like to thank the following sponsors: exclusive partners, High Rewards, The Wise Millennial, Thoughtful Philippines. Special thanks to Forever Healthy Products Incorporated, StatUp Philippines Training, Official Career Partner, Correx, Career Express Philippines.
A great afternoon to all junior marketistas. Another year has entered and PJMA is ready to jumpstart the year 2021 as we are proud to present a new event entitled Marketing Series Chronicles of the 21st Century Landscape. To fully start our program, let us all welcome Mr. Lemuel Ian Manuel, the Vice President for Communications, for the opening remarks.
Good afternoon and welcome, fellow junior marketers. It is very exciting for me to virtually have you join the new edition of PJMA activities entitled Marketing Series Chronicles of the 21st Century Landscape. We are very pleased to have you on board as we kickstart the year 2021 with great hopes of change and progression. I am Lemon IMB Manuel, the Vice President for Communications of the Philippine Junior Marketing Association for the academic year 2020-2021. The year 2020 has been very challenging for all of us. We have faced various challenges together as everything was new and unusual as we adapt to the new normal setting. But as they say, us Filipinos are very resilient and adaptive to all kinds of situations. Despite the sudden shift of events, we still manage to be the young marketers who resonates passion and commitment in becoming game changers as we continue to redefine the standards of excellence. Before we start this exciting journey into the diverse worlds of marketing, I'd like to take this opportunity to give my sincerest appreciation and thank you to our guest speakers who will be sharing their great expertise in the worlds of various industries, to our guest students in their active participation, to Miss Marilyn Ventinilla, our guest moderator for the episode and to the following to come, our dear governors coming from the different regions across the Philippines, and of course, to all of you junior marketers throughout the country who are always eagerly wanting to progress and be the next generation of marketing leaders. This event wouldn't be possible without all of you. In the next few minutes and succeeding episodes of Marketing Series, you'll be able to have a clear view on how the marketing field can be diverse throughout the different industries, which leads to countless opportunity. Also learn from the students' perspective as they engage with our esteemed guests. We hope that everything that you will be hearing with us will help you grow as you'll be the future movers in sharing your own Marketer's Chronicle. Now, I won't be taking too much of your time as I know that you are very excited to hear from our guest speaker this afternoon and also know who will be the special guest students who will be engaging with him. Once again, thank you for your continuous support towards the endeavors of the National Federation. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon and the following episodes to come. Welcoming you all again to the Marketing Series, Chronicles of the 21st Century Landscape.
Thank you, Sir Lemuel. Flashing on the screen is the game mechanics. I hope you guys are ready and excited for this one, as the game will go on throughout the episode, and at the end of the episode, the winners will be revealed. The game mechanics are as follows. First, listen to the talk and discussions of the speakers throughout the episode, then comment on our live stream chat or below the live stream your best insights that you will learn from this episode. Lastly, there will be 5 lucky chosen winners to receive prizes from our generous sponsors. Again, the game mechanics are as follows. First, listen to the talk and discussion of the speakers throughout the episode. Then, comment on our live stream chat or below the live stream your best insight that you will learn from this episode. Lastly, there will be 5 lucky chosen winners to receive prizes from our generous sponsors.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful, be effective, be thoughtful.
We would like to thank the following sponsors, exclusive partners, High Rewards, The Wise Millennial, Thoughtful Philippines. Special thanks to Forever Healthy Products Incorporated, StatUp Philippines Training, Official Career Partner, Corrects Career Express Philippines.
Today, the internet is radically changing how we Filipinos see the world. Now, we're consuming online content. We're creating it, but more importantly, we're sharing it. Founded in 2010, Thoughtful Media is a global multi-channel network that is certified by YouTube and Google and is now in the Philippines. We help content creators optimize their channel for subscriber growth and channel discoverability. We put creators in touch with the right production people, from shoot to edit. With a diverse network of content creators, we can connect you to the right influential friend from different parts of the world. Our worldwide network consists of over 2,200 channels and a catalog of more than 1,000 influencers. We create bubbles, generating over 626 million views and over 1.2 billion minutes watched per month. Using our vast amount of content creators, we bring you only the best talent fit for your campaign. Our reach is local, but our impact is global. What are you waiting for? Be impactful, be effective, be thoughtful.
And we have on our comment section, we have Mark Vivero. Go, 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 Marketista! Greetings from the Junior Marketers Association of Palawan State University. Wow! Main campus, let's go, Marketista! Hashtag Marketing Series 2021. Hashtag Marketers Chronicles. Hashtag PSUJMA. Hi, Mark. How are you? This afternoon is really exciting as we will learn about the industry of small medium enterprise for our first episode of the marketing series. Our dear marketing students will surely learn interesting insights from this talk. But before we introduce our speakers for this afternoon, let us welcome our moderator. She has over 28 years of experience in organizational communication, advertising, creatives, public relations, and digital marketing gained in globally distributed and culturally sensitive employee environments. She currently serves as a senior director for communications and marketing at Teleperformance Philippines. She joined the company in 2011 and is responsible for strategic communication programs that help elevate brand health and equity, as well as expand relationship opportunities for the company's stakeholders. Prior to joining Teleperformance, she also headed the corporate communication and marketing programs of businesses in China, Macau, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Las Vegas, and across the Philippines. She has built her communications career in industries including gaming, media, entertainment, apparel supply chain, financial services, and knowledge management technology. She sits on the board of directors of the Philippine Marketing Association and serves as trustee for the Philippine Association of National Advertisers Foundation. Without further ado, let us all welcome Miss Marilyn Romero Ventanilla.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Victoria, for that very kind introduction. And I'm so happy to be seeing all of you again, albeit virtual and online. But I'm so happy to be part of another exciting event of the Philippine Junior Marketing Association. And as you know, our special event for this period, entitled Marketing Series Chronicles of the 21st Century Landscape, is another insightful, and I hope that you find it educational, something that you will really, that will help you become a strategic marketer and innovative marketer in the future. And we have a very special guest and both from the professional side and the student side lined up for today. So I hope you stick around, and it's going to be another worthwhile event for all of us marketistas. And I would like to, again, say hi to everybody. Shout out to all our special delegates from different colleges and universities nationwide. And later on, I will be saying hi specifically to some people who are also saying hi to us on the comment section. So, I would just like, before we move on to the program proper, I would just like to again remind everyone to give us your comment, and then so that you can also qualify for the game later on. Who knows? You might just be one of the five. If I remember it correctly, we have five winners for today. So stick around and just keep the engagement going. Just keep those type down your comments, and then more importantly, listen to our very special guest for today. So back to you, Victoria. Okay, so I think we're already so excited to meet our very special guest. So I will go on. We Without much ado, I'll go on to introduce our special guest. So before we say his name, before we reveal his name, let me just say something about how how special his background and his experience is. So since leaving the startup that he founded in 2016, our special guest, Mr. Carlo P. Valencia, has been an educator, corporate trainer, startup founder, and an advocate of innovation. Impressive, right? In all that he does, he advocates a begin by understanding and a fail fast, often and forward mindset to all of his students. He is a student of mindfulness, practices gratitude as well as radical transparency in everything that he does. As with he has found himself practically restarting his career from a focus on corporate innovation training in 2018 and most of 2019. He has pivoted into creating web workshops, coaching programs, and online courses for startup founders and SMEs using the same principles of design thinking, lean startup, and agile. Let us all welcome my dear friends and our dear marketistas, our special guest for today, Mr. Carlo P. Valencia, founder of StatUp Philippines Training.
Hi, everyone. Oops.
Hello, Mr. Valencia.
Hello.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Ms.
Good
Lynn.
to have you.
Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here, and very excited for the opportunity to spread that advocacy of begin with understanding. All right. So, shall I get started?
Well, you may, well, before we get started with your presentation,
Sure.
of course, we just like to say hi and hello to you. And perhaps you may also want to say a quick hi to our marketistas from, from across the country.
Hello, marketistas. Yeah, what I see PJMA around, so I do. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here and finally be part of your events.
And it's an honor to have you in our event. How are you
Thank you.
doing these days?
Very good, actually. Almost died of hunger in the lockdown, but we survived. We were able to like you spoke about. We were able to convert a lot of our face-to-face workshops into digital workshops, webinars like this one, for example. Previously, we were all doing face-to-face. We were all doing corporate, and as you probably know, when there's an economic crisis, training is one of the first things they let go in the corporate budget. So that was really challenging. We're pivoting now into creating training opportunities and learning opportunities for founders, as well as students, of course, that have their own or want to get into business. So we're creating digital products, starting with that free online course, which we'll be sharing the link later on at the end. So stick around.
We will stick around, Mr. Valencia, and excited to hear more of what you will share with us. And that's true. In spite of the pandemic and the challenges that we've had in 2020, this also gave us a lot of opportunities to reinvent ourselves, or the way we do things, and think of more efficient, and more productive ways by we can be of service to other people. And so yes, we will listen to more of your stories on that in your presentation. Thank you, Mr. Valencia. Mm-hmm.
Can I just add something? Actually, right before this call, I saw an email, one of the newsletters I'm subscribed to, saying something towards the point of your comfort is comfort is the enemy of greatness. Something towards that point. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially the discomfort of the lockdown, I think, is what really allowed me to really double down. I was thinking about going digital, but it's not something I was able to or wanted to really do, because there was this other part of the business that was doing okay. But I knew it was something that I should do, but was being delinquent on. The lockdown allowed me to, didn't allow me, more like forced me to really digitize our content. So that's what we're doing a lot of in 2021 as well. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ready when
and
you
I
are.
agree with you. Yes, a lot of innovation happened practically, overnight, well, so to speak, or just in a couple or just a few months. The innovation and digitalization needed that was everybody or most of the companies and organizations have been talking about for years have been um, pushed forward, and it happened in just a couple of months or 3 months or 4 months. So well, yes, and it's good to know that there are people like you and champions and advocates like you who also make things forward through innovation and digitalization.
Hopefully,
So yeah,
we're
please go
able to
ahead.
help people. All
Yes,
right.
please, yes, please share with us your story, and we'll just be here. We'll stick around and listen to your very insightful and inspirational story.
For sure.
Thanks again, Mr. Will.
Very welcome. I understand we're gonna have some Q&A later on, so I look forward to that as well. So to the guys that are listening and watching, feel free to feel free. I don't think I'm able to see the comments live, but feel free to comment whether or not you're watching on whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or here on here right on StreamYard. Definitely let me know your comments, your questions, your what do you think. If you disagree, definitely let me know as well. I'm happy to have that conversation with you. And if you think I'm saying the right thing, also definitely let me know. And then later on, we'll have a conversation. We'll go in depth. Are there people here? I actually have a comments thread. Are there people here? So I assume everybody's in a marketing type of course. Are there people here that are already doing business? Either they have, offering marketing services, doing Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing, whatever it is, or selling their own products, kahit social selling lang. Any kind of business, you let me know. I would love to really talk to you guys about that. All right. Cool. Shall I share my screen? Fantastic. Okay. So the title of the talk is Expanding Opportunities, Gearing Up for Your Startup. In case you want to know more about the SME industry, I apologize. I'm not going to be talking a lot about that, but I will tell you how to succeed, the foundations of how to succeed in a small or meet. Well, we start small, right? Small company. When you are starting, the key, really what I believe is the key to success. So Rico Amado, cool. I can see your comments, turns out. Fantastic. Planning to establish a digital marketing service. That is absolutely fabulous. This is going to be what you need to do, Rico. And thank you for your comment. All right. So this is the official title. This talk, it can also be called How to Start a Startup. It can also be called How to Find a Startup Idea. If you guys don't have any idea yet on what to start, I will tell you how to start. And if you already have a startup, if you already have started doing digital marketing services or whatever it is that you're doing and you want to grow it, this is also what you need to do. So my name is Carlo. Just a real quick summary. I am a product of government initiatives. I took calls in a BPO, a couple of BPOs, Info and Execs and HSBC for 4 years. After that, I became a training coordinator. So never look down at BPO people, my friends. It gives you the foundational training that you need to succeed. Started a startup 2014 to 2016. My claim to fame is I raised 9 million pesos. My claim to shame is that I spent 9 million pesos without really making any money about it. I made all the mistakes typical first-time founders make, and I'll be talking to you guys a little bit about how to not make those mistakes. Between 2016 and today, I've been doing a number of roles under the StatUp PH Training banner. Last year I taught, 2019 I taught in college, entrepreneurship studies or technopreneurship. 2020 I taught in, senior high school. I'm part of the Kubo mentorship program. Kubo is a public-private partnership that encourages entrepreneurship through incubation and, again, StatUp PH Training. We do a lot of design thinking workshops. We also do a lot of lean startup and agile, some agile workshops. These are the frameworks I believe are necessary if you want to succeed when it comes to innovation and entrepreneurship. The fundamentals are the same. That's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. The execution might differ a little bit, but the fundamentals very, very, very much similar. So I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about design thinking, but I won't really talk about the concept. I'll talk more about what design thinking recommends. So anybody else aside from Rico? I got here UEP JMA. So that's UE. Tama ba? Calauag Central Colleges. Raise your hands or put a comment if you have been able to make money any which way outside of asking your parents for money. Nagbenta kayo ng something, chocolates, flowers, di ba, nung fair nyo or whatever, may event, Valentine's. Hello Chrysler from PCU, right? Raise your hands if you've done so. Sell strawberries or sell flowers, sell cards, sell, I don't know, t-shirts, stickers. Sino ba dito meron? Aside from Rico, is it only Rico? And si Princess. So Princess, what have you guys been able to sell? Bea as well, Alondo, all right, Alonde. When in high school, baked goods, very nice. I started my entrepreneurship journey coming from selling chocolate-covered strawberries. So that was my very, very first experience. And when I made my own money, I was like, wow, ang galing. Sobrang na-excite ako. Of course, I got into the BPO industry. Entrepreneurship took a backseat, but now I'm back. I've been back in entrepreneurship since 2014. All right, so let's get started. Sorry, one more thing. So we've been able to teach design thinking, innovation, and entrepreneurship around a whole bunch of organizations, a lot of schools. So if you guys want me to, by the way, talk Graham balls, I love those things. Bucci as well. Photography. That's a high value service if you do it right. If you want me to do talks in your respective schools, or if you want me to repeat this thing in your respective event, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to do so. If you are working in a company and you want me to talk as well, definitely do that. So lesson number one, if you want to grow a startup, if you want to start a startup, if you want to, sell more Graham balls, if you want to sell pre-loved clothes, or you want to sell more of that, ano ba mga meron dito? Graham balls, Bucci, photography, whatever it is, fried rice. The very, very first thing you need to do is to begin with understanding the people you want to help, understanding their problems, their challenges, their goals, their needs. You do not begin with building a product or service or solution. You begin with understanding. I know this takes a little bit longer versus ibenta na natin agad yan, but trust me, this foundation is going to, it's going to set you up for success in the long term. So when you have an idea, if you're looking for an idea, my recommendation is you stop looking for an idea. Sometimes, and I've done this so many times. By the way, a lot of these things that I'm teaching you now are based on the mistakes I've done, right? So I recommend, so these are not theoretical things that I want you to avoid. These are things that I've done, that I've made a mistake on and I've learned from. And hopefully you'll avoid the same mistakes. Or if you make the same mistake, that's all good. definitely, you know, if you make the same mistake, that's all good. Learn from it, move forward. So stop looking for ideas and solutions. This is something I've stayed awake for a long time on back in the day. But instead, rather than doing this, what I recommend is you look for problems worth solving. Look for people that just get frustrated with whatever it is that they're doing, and then solve that problem. If you already have an idea, then what I recommend you do is you need to anchor on people and problems. So for example, nagbebenta ka ng t-shirt. Sino ba yung binebentahan mo? All the people in Metro Manila or the people in your schools are not your customers. There are some that are your ideal target customers, and there are some that aren't. Figure out who those people are. And to determine who those people are, you need to figure out who has the problem, right? Or who needs your t-shirts. Is it, if you're selling alumni types of t-shirts, then maybe it's the alumni. Maybe yung mga freshman hindi pa kailangan. Or baliktad. Baka marami ng t-shirt yung mga alumni. Yung mga freshman kailangan nila. Right? Cheesecakes, for example, sino ba may kailangan ng cheesecake? Baka yung mga boys na naniligaw sa mga girls. Right? Or baka yung mga girls, sobrang hilig nila sa cheesecake. Diba? So you want to figure these out. So if you're if you're selling cheesecakes and then you want to sell them, maybe baka si Sir Professor na walang nililigawan, walang misis, hindi niya kailangan ng cheesecake. Versus si classmate na may nililigawan, baka siya may kailangan ng cheesecake. So you want to figure that out. Figure out who are the people that need your products. So don't focus on the solution, focus on understanding people and problems. Know your target market, ika nga, di ba? So, why am I recommending this? Is because building costs time and money. Even if you're just gonna make a cheesecake, that's gonna cost time and money. And your time is there's a money equivalent to that, right? And when I say building, I don't just mean making the product. I also mean finding co-founders, registering your business, finding investors, hiring people. All these things require time and money. What I said, the very first step that I recommend you do is look for people that you can speak to that have the problem you want to solve. So interview them. Now your next question is probably going to go, who should I interview? How do I know if I should interview them? Talk to your customers. Customers are people that pay. Very clear dapat yan. Customers are the people that pay. Users are the people that do not pay you. So, for example, the people, everybody here is in school, right? Sino, let's say, at least those people in private schools, because in state use, walang tuition. Sino ang customer ni school? Si parents or si students? Let me know in the comments. Sino yung customer nila? Parents or students? Go, let me know. Sino ba yung nagbabayad? Parents or students? Unless the student is a working student and they pay for their own tuition, it's typically the parents that pay, right? And if you see, especially in private schools, you see this a lot outside. Marami mga posters about si ganitong student naging top whatever sa board exam. Di ba? X% of our high school graduates got into UP. All of those are marketing materials, and those are marketing materials targeted at their customers, the parents. Tayo naman medyo nice to have na, sige, papasa tayo, maganda yung mga grades natin. Right? But that's not our priority. Those are the priorities of your parents. And that is the school knowing who their customers are and targeting their marketing material on their customers. Right? So you want to figure out who your customer is and then interview them, talk to them. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to your users, but what I'm saying is you should prioritize your customers. Tama yan, Dayan. It depends. Diba? Kung working students, then si student ang customer. But if your school is generally targeting parents and not working regular students and not working students, then you want to target the parents. So, quick question for you guys. Why do people pay other people? Like in just broad categories. Tell me about the last time that you paid for something. Why did you pay for it? What are the reasons why people pay? Sige nga. Are the comments just for StreamYard or pati yung Facebook comments pumapasok sa StreamYard? Excellent service. So let's say, I'm gonna challenge that, Princess. I hope you don't mind. Let's say, bebentahan kita ng kotse. Kailangan mo ba ng kotse ngayon? It's 2 million pesos, by the way, yung kotse. But I'll give you excellent service anyway. Value of the product or service. Pwede yan. Value. Interest, not really. Rendering service, yeah, value din yan. Parang problem solving yan, di ba? Satisfaction, benefit, service. I'm gonna break it down into people will pay you if you solve their problem. People will pay you if you give value. So for example, solving problems. Di ba ngayon, pandemic, lockdown, mahirap lumabas, baka magkasakit. So, ayaw na lumabas ng mga tao or konti lang yung hindi ka makakain sa labas na maayos. So what do you want to do? You want to what your problem is yun nga, mahirap lumabas. Excuse me. Mahirap kumain sa labas. So you pay a delivery person to bring your food to your home, right? That's your problem. You can't eat out, so you pay somebody else to bring the food to you. Or you can give value. Right? Convenience, thank you for raising that, is not a reason people will pay you. Solving problems is kumbaga added na lang yung convenience na lang. Right? Giving value. So for example, kailangan mo ng cellphone. You assume that cell phone is of particular value. You give that money to that person, and then that person gives you your cell phone in exchange. Right? Exchange of value. Of course, education and entertainment. We've spoken about education, entertainment as well. If you've ever watched a movie, if you've ever, signed up for stuff, that is Spotify, Netflix, YouTube Premium. Those are entertainment reasons to pay. If you're selling to a business, I see a lot of these people, a lot of business-to-business types of startups, they get this a little bit wrong. Or, you have, let's say, something to solve garbage, for example, or traffic. Iniisip nila, ang customer ko dito si LGU, si City Hall. Hindi niyo po customer si City Hall. Kasi ang customer niyo ay dapat tao. Kung organisasyon ang gusto niyong bentahan, isipin niyo, sino ba dito sa organisasyon na to ang may kailangan itong serbisyo ko? Right? Who in that organization needs your help? Figure out their problems, figure out their goals, position your product to achieve that goal or to solve that problem, and you will be one very big step closer to success and closing that deal. So figure out if you are selling to organizations, who in the organization are in need of your product or service the most. Yeah. So, lastly, when you are starting, or even when you're growing, actually, you don't want to sell to everyone. You want to sell to a very select few people, and you want to really serve them very well. I see this a lot, which is, who are your customers? All the students. Who are your customers? All the mothers. Be very niche. Sino students? Is this freshman, senior? Ito ba yung mga irreg of a particular course even? Right? So Facebook, when they started, they didn't initially try, or maybe they had it in their vision, but when they first launched, they didn't try to make it available to everyone. They were only available to sino? Saan sila nag-launch? The Facebook in 2004. Can somebody tell me? Saan nag-start ang The Facebook? I think may lag yung comments versus what I'm talking about. But that's fine. Sige, ikukwento ko na lang. Yan, Harvard students. Thank you, Lynn. Right on time. So, the Facebook started only in Harvard. If you did not have an email address na Harvard, na at harvard.edu, then you would not be able to access the Facebook. So very specific niche sa kanila. And can you tell me, kay Nino, para saan ang the Facebook when it first started? What was its primary purpose at the time? Sige, in the interest of time, kukwento ko na lang. It was to hook up with other students. It was Tinder old school. It was actually less features pa nga than Tinder. It didn't even connect you. But yes, it's for dating, right? Kung type mo yung classmate mo, pwede mo siyang tingnan doon, tapos malalaman mo kung ano ba yung class schedule niya. Tapos malalaman mo rin kung may boyfriend or my girlfriend yung classmate mo, so you can ask them out. That was the primary purpose. Socializing is a really good politically correct term, but dating was really the primary purpose. Not for games, not for study purposes. If you wanted to do that, that's not where you should be going. At the time, 2004. Today, you can do it for everything. You can use Facebook for everything. You can, anybody can access Facebook these days, right? But when they first started, it was only for Harvard, only for dating. Anything else you wanted to go, you had to go somewhere else. So when you're starting a startup, if you're thinking about a business, you want to be very niche and you want to have a very specific purpose. And trust me, when you do that, you will succeed. And when you succeed, you will be able to expand. And then that's when you grow. Just like with Facebook, after Harvard, they launched in Harvard. In a couple of weeks, they were able to get 80% of the population to sign up. And then they moved to the next university and then another university until now they have 2.5 billion people. So that's what I highly recommend you to do. Figure out your people, figure out the people you want to help, the problems that they have, right? And then also be very niche about it. So how do you begin with understanding? Run empathy interviews. I'm not going to go into the details of it. At the end of this workshop, I'll send you a link. I'll share with you a link where you can learn how to run empathy interviews. It's a 20 or 30-minute online course which we've created. When I say empathy interviews, I don't mean to say talk to people about your idea, because talking to people about your idea is not empathy. I've been doing this for so many years now, and when I don't tell them this, they end up asking people about their idea, and that's not empathy, right? What do you think about my idea? Are you willing to try my idea? Are you willing to purchase my t-shirt, to buy my cheesecake? That is not empathy, unfortunately, right? Wag niyo agad bentahan. Just get to know the people. That's what I mean by focusing and anchoring on your idea on people and problems, not on your solution. You anchor on people you want to help. When you ask people about your idea, they will all, 9 out of 10 will say yes. Especially kung kamag-anak mo yan, most especially kung mommy or daddy mo yan, they will say, ang galing mo talaga, anak. Ipagpatuloy mo yan. It doesn't mean you have a good idea. It means you have supportive parents. Empathy means feeling what others are feeling. So when you talk and ask them about your idea, you are not empathizing. You are selling. So don't sell. Okay? When you're running empathy interviews, you want to feel what other people are feeling. If you're selling cheesecake, for example, ask them, kailan ka ba huling kumain ng cheesecake? Or ask them, Tell me about the last time, kung feeling mo kasi sa panliligaw yung ginagamit yung cheesecake, di ba? Tell me about the last time nagbigay ka ng regalo doon sa nililigawan mo. Right? Or tell me about the last time na busted ka. Tell me the last time na naging malungkot ka. Anong ginawa mo? Walk me through that. Bumili ka ba ng ice cream? Or bumili ka ng cheesecake? Right? So, empathy is feeling what others are feeling. Kung humiram na kayo ng sapatos ng ibang tao, then you know what this means. Right? Kung humiram ka ng sapatos ng tao ng mayaman, then makikita mo talaga bakit yung mayaman na yun parating nakangiti. Kasi masarap ang pakiramdam ng sapatos niya. Building rapport, Adrian, warning lang is not empathy. Building rapport is being, oy, galing-galing mo talaga. That's not empathy. Empathy is feeling what others are feeling. Malungkot yung tao, kailangan maramdaman mo rin malungkot siya. Malungkot ka. Right? It doesn't mean sympathy as well. Sympathy kasi is, kawawa ka naman, wala kang makain. Empathy is, wala kang makain. Wow, naalala ko dati, wala rin akong pera. Grabe. Hindi rin ako makakain. Alam ko yung nararamdaman mo. That's what empathy is. And that's what I encourage you to do. Feel what other people are feeling. And why? I'm not going to dive into it. Like I said, I'm going to send you a link later on how to run these empathy interviews. But once you're able to run these empathy interviews, the next step is to define your customers using personas or customer profiles, ika nga. So what does that look like? Kind of looks like this. So this is a template. By the way, this deck is, anybody can take a look at this deck. The officer, I've given the link to the officers so they can share this deck. You can use this template. So this is my wife during a Coldplay concert several years ago. This is a profile of a Coldplay fan. So if I wanted to buy sell Coldplay merchandise, this is gonna be, I would interview her, and this would essentially be the contents of a persona. It has her name, a description of her, content demographics, picture, quote, goals, motivations, behaviors, frustrations, and sources of information. Notice that I did not talk about her propensity to buy Coldplay merchandise. I just wanted to understand her relationship with Coldplay. So what's a persona? Personas are essentially a semi-fictional representation of your ideal user. It represents a large group, and it requires some market research and real data. Pero sometimes, especially kung students tayo, mahirap gumawa ng persona, mahirap mag-market research, mahirap kumuha ng market data, right? So instead of creating a customer persona, what I recommend, looks very much the same, is you create a proto-persona. So proto-personas are essentially created using intuition. Using your, what you think is right, who you think your customers are. Ideally, what I'd like you guys to do before you create a proto persona is mag-run muna kayo ng interviews. And then in your interviews, as a result of that, yung nakausap mo, gawan mo ng persona. And that is your proto persona. But understand that not all of the contents there might be entirely accurate and representative of the larger audience. So you want to update it. You want to make sure that the information is correct. If you get new information, you want to keep that updated. So this is my persona as an extroverted facilitator and founder. I won't dive into the details, but essentially, there are more people like myself, right? And if somebody was trying to sell something, maybe coaching services or whatever, to facilitators and founders, then they might see and they might find this of value. You can also create personas not using a template, just plain paper. Ito, si Punctual and Active Nelia. Kulot ang buhok, naka-duster, may bayong, lumang telepono. Also has her behaviors, also has her demographic, and some of her goals. right? Very simple, but in your mind, you're already able to figure out kung sino siya. At pag may nakita kang ganitong klaseng tao, alam mo agad kung sino siya. Something I noticed with a lot of students is they take so much time in drawing. Nakulang na yung sinusulat nilang information. Don't do that. Don't consume all your time in the drawing. Make sure that you're also adding information. So your challenge, my challenge to you is actually, if you are, if you have a startup, if you're thinking about starting a startup or you want to grow one, is make 2 proto personas. The number 1 is of yourself. Like make a persona of yourself, but practice them. And then later on, run interviews. Or if you don't even have time to run interviews, just make a proto persona of an ideal customer of yours. Lagyan mo ng pangalan and all the other details, goals, frustrations, motivations, demographics. If you have difficulty creating this persona of your customer, that means you do not know who your customer is. And that means you need to run interviews. So here is your template persona or your persona template. And then here you got your guide questions, right? So I highly recommend that you do that. When you have the information, replace the guide questions with the actual information. So the online course I was talking to you about is here, spht.thinkific.com. You can also put it at StatUp. You can also type in StatUp PH Training.com. I'm putting it on the private chat because I'm not sure how to put it on the public comments right now. So if somebody, one of the officers could kindly share it on the public chat, that would be great. So you can check out spht.thinkific.com or StatUpPHTraining.com, and that's going to redirect to the same website. And then there is their testing ideas through interviews, has an interview guide, has the persona template, and all the information you need to run really, really effective interviews. There you go. Thank you very much. Cool. So, so I thought I'd give you some like just digital marketing 101. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this already, but I thought it would be good to share just some tips based on some of the common challenges or common errors that I see a lot of students make or people that are new in marketing. So marketing versus sales. People get this confused, and others would argue that my definition is wrong. So just to make sure, my definition, first I'll talk to you about sales. Sales is essentially converting leads into customers. So the thing is, sometimes, or the question is, how do you generate leads? And you generate leads by, well, marketing, right? Find your potential customers. The effectiveness of your marketing, at least for me, when I launch a marketing campaign or if I hire marketing people, their effectiveness is based on their ability to generate leads. Of course, sometimes it's awareness, but really at the end of the day, it's got to be leads. Likes don't count. Getting people to like your post is not a reflection of the effectiveness of your marketing. It could be a reflection of the number of friends that you have, which is not marketing. So what counts? Number one, how do you determine if somebody is a lead or not? Number one, people ask for the price. Magkano ba yan? How much po? Right? That is actually a good thing. People giving their contact information, either email address or cell phone number, that's a very good thing. That means when they give their contact information, essentially what they're saying is, I am interested enough that I'm going to give you my contact information so you can send me more information. And then lastly, making a commitment, pre-order and or down payment is the very ultimate best lead that you can generate. That's actually a little bit crossing into sales, but you want just the price and contact information is very good, super very good if they already make a commitment. So if you want to generate a lot of leads, if you want to be very good at marketing, really the thing that you need to be thinking about is what value can you give? What value can that product or service you're promoting give, and share that? Or not even just the product or not even the value, or not just the value of the product or service that you're offering, but just give value. Give value to the people that are seeing your marketing campaign. And then that will catch their attention. If you can solve their problems, even better. If you can entertain or educate, even better. So the people that want to really be good at marketing, I know you guys are still in school, but the number one, the best, like I work with a whole bunch of 20-year-olds, some teenagers as well. When I started my startup, I hired a developer who eventually became our CTO. We hired him at 18, paying him 40,000 pesos a month. He started when he was 12. So when I hired him, he had 6 years experience. He's admittedly a bit of a prodigy. But you guys are what, 18 years old now, 17? If you start now, when you get into employment, if you decide to become an employee, you would have already 3 or 4 years experience. If you start when after you graduate, you have 0 years of experience. And you know what you're going to be doing? You're going to be doing the thing that you should have been doing when you were in college, which is, making posters, low value things. So do the low value things now, be very good at it. And then over time, you'll be able to do high value strategic stuff and the stuff that you really want to do. So start now. I know it's going to be difficult. I do not pretend it's going to be easy, but if you wait until you graduate, mapapag-iwanan kayo. The really good ones, they don't wait to graduate. They start now. And how do you start? Well, you can promote yourself. You can promote your PJMA association. If you have 100 people or 1,000 people liking your page, get it to 10,000. Sell t-shirts, promote that, build an audience. Right? Create a Facebook group and then have people converse and discuss things that are important. Yung mga ano yan? What's your ulam pare? Meron na nga ngayon nagsimula tulog tayo. Those are genius marketing initiatives. If you can get that, man, and then you come to and then later on you're applying for a job. You go, what have you been able to do? I created a page. It's got 100,000. It has 100,000 followers now. Right? What do you think your employer is going to do? Which, by the way, ingeniero.org was started by an engineer. Now has about 400,000 or 500,000 group members, or I think it's a page. Sorry, page followers. He started it when he was in college, an engineering student. All he did was look for interesting things that were interesting to him, and then he downloaded the image and then he shares it on his page. Boom. And then he shares it on other groups. That's it. Now he's a marketing manager, 20-something years old. So that's what I highly recommend. Start now. Look for something to promote. It might be the karinderya dun sa kanto nyo, or the laundry shop in your village, or the water station. It doesn't matter. Do it for them. Or it might be the school org. Do it, and you will learn. So that's my talk. Join our group, StatUp PH Training. Email me at carlo@startuppphtraining.com. Feel free to reach out to me. This is my advocacy, like I said, and I'm more than happy to help. All right. I hope that was useful. Not too controversial. Just controversial enough to get you guys thinking. Miss Lynn? Any questions?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Carlo Valencia. Again, he is the founder of StatUp PH, and we truly appreciate your sharing with us your time, your insights, and your expertise, and a lot based on the the comments that we have been receiving in our channel. So it's really that engagement is really running wild, if I should say that. So
I'm
and it's
glad.
good.
I'm glad.
Yes, and good. We can see that there are a lot of students and young minds or young marketers who are highly interested in starting their business. So probably not for themselves, but perhaps for a friend or a family member who might also be interested in starting up a small or medium enterprise. So before we uh, proceed to the next segment, by the way, we have invited guests from two schools and who will also be joining us later on for the Q&A section, Q&A segment. But I'd like to again remind our audience to keep sending in their comments and their questions. Again, just to practically keep the engagement going, because the top 5 comments that our team here will identify will get to win a prize. So watch out for that. And we'll be announcing the winners later on. Okay, so back to our discussion. I personally found your lectures and your presentation very helpful. I also, while I am fully employed in a BPO company, and by the way, we're both BPO babies, but I'm
Yeah.
also, yes, I also have friends and family who are very interested in starting up their business, especially these days. Like we mentioned earlier, this period has created a lot of opportunities for us to think of ways by which we can also, we can creatively and innovatively present the service. And that will be helpful, especially in this new environment, in this new economy. And one of, I took notes here. And one thing that really struck me was when you said that we should, as a startup or as a would-be entrepreneur, we should begin with understanding. So just stop looking for ideas and anchor, the the goals or the objectives based on the problem that we want to create solutions for. So I will be starting this Q&A with a question from myself, if you don't
Sure.
mind, Sir
Yes,
Carlo.
please.
So and I think I will be asking this question on behalf of our students in the audience. So for us, would-be entrepreneurs, what would be your advice, especially for the students now who are currently enrolled, and even for those who have just graduated from the recent term, but are already looking and raring to start their own business? What would be your
Mhm.
advice to them after we have already identified the problem that we would look for solutions? Of
Sure.
course, we
So
understand the financial resources would be very important. So, what advice would you give us?
yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I don't remember if I don't know if you remember the introduction. Like I have two advocacies. One is begin by understanding. The other one is fail fast, often, and forward. So if you've been able to, if you feel that you've achieved that understanding, the next step is to fail fast, often, forward. So what's the smallest thing or quickest thing that you can do to test your idea? And very often, building the product isn't the quickest thing to do. Um, what my personal favorite when I run workshops or when I try to sell my workshops is I do a pre-sale campaign, which is essentially I get an image, a little bit of an image of me teaching with like a really good quote that talks about the problem. I'll paste it on a group that I think has the audience I'm trying to sell it to, and then I'll add a caption, something towards the point of, I'm running this workshop, da da da. It's this much. Comment below if you're interested. And the first time I did it, actually, I said first 5 people to comment get in for free. And then, boom, 25 people within that day commented. So after that, that's when I started building the workshop. That's when I started looking for the venue. That's when I started thinking about the complete outline, the learning objectives, all that good stuff. Before that, all I had was an idea, right? So that's the very highly recommend. My main recommendation is you want to get feedback right away. If you want to test if your understanding is correct, right? So for example, I don't know, give me one idea. uh, Tama na yung cheesecake. Kanina ko pa pinag-iinitan yung cheesecake. Do you have like can you give me an idea that a friend of yours is thinking about?
T-shirts.
Yeah,
On-demand
t-shirts.
shirt printing.
Yep. So, for example, you're thinking about selling T-shirts, and you want to sell T-shirts to your classmates, to your schoolmates, right? We want to do a PJMA T-shirt, for example, and then you run interviews first, and then you understand that it turns out they buy T-shirts at 300 pesos in school, right? Or 350. I don't know how much T-shirts are going for now, right? So what I might do is I might run some posters and then post it in different places with a demo of that T-shirt, like an image of the T-shirt with whatever sign, make it really witty, and then appeal to their what do you call it? To their alma mater, perhaps, right? To their loyalty to their school, and say something about the school, and then pre-order now, and then it's $500, but if you pre-order now, it's only $350. Comment below and we'll get in touch. You can create that within, I don't know, an hour, a couple of hours, and then get feedback right away. Alternatively, what you could have done is print the T-shirts, print 20 of it or 100 or whatever the minimum order is, and then pray, sana mabili to, diba? So that's a high risk maneuver. So what you want to do is get the pre-order, essentially pre-sell. Real estate developers do this all the time before they produce or they construct a project. They'll get people to purchase units at a discount. So that's what you should do first: is sell whatever it is that you're selling at a discount. Get engagement, get feedback. Either they will start doing pre-orders, expressing interest, or they will not respond. And no feedback is feedback, is what I like to say. Like, if nobody and by the way, this has happened to me so many times. I'll make a post, nobody responds or nobody comments. So I'll take a look at the post and I'll try to see, like, as a customer, what was the thing that that confused me, or why did I not become interested? So within a day, I'll take that down and then I'll make a new one, a better version, and then the following day. But typically, I run experiments for a week, and see the feedback, and then at the end of the week, see, did it work? Did it not work? If it works, then start like reaching out. And by the way, sorry, if people comment, you want to comment back right away, and you want to talk to them and say, hey, got your comment, thank you very much, really interested. Because the more comments are on the thread, as you know, the higher the exposure will be, right? So don't go like, pag may nagtatanong and then you go, PM po. Di tinanggal mo yung conversation, right? Dun sa comment thread. You put the conversation on the comment thread, and even more people will see it. So there, sorry, ang haba ng sagot ko. But that's like my go-to. Another one is, make a Facebook page. But not even it. I think at the very first stage is I will make a poster, make an offer. Are you interested is not a valid question, because everybody's going to say they're interested. It doesn't mean they're going to sell. If you want to, though, you can say, yes, are you interested? They will say yes. Great. And then bigyan mo ng presyo. Tingnan mo kung bibili. That's ultimately the deciding factor. People saying they're interested doesn't count. So there.
Thank you, Sir Carlo. All very good questions and tips. And so to our marketista, I hope you have listed down all the great answers and advice that Sir Carlo has shared with us. And I think, well, yes, based on your answer, again, it just enhances our thinking that crowdsourcing and engagement is very important, especially for startups. And I like it that, you just post, start now. As you always say, just start now, and then just post something out there and see, if it generates interest. And if it does, then just keep the conversation going. And that's why engagement is very important.
I love the,
Thank you.
I love the comments.
Yes.
I'm seeing it in the comments.
Right. And yes, thank you, Sir Carlo. So now we will give the floor to our guest students. They also have their own questions about how to successfully run a startup business, an SME. And we have our guest from our first guest is from Asia Pacific Junior Marketing, the Junior Marketing Association at Asia Pacific College, and he is the president of the organization. He is taking up BSBA major in marketing and advertising. Let us please welcome Juan Paolo Estaura.
Good
Hello,
afternoon, sir.
Juan Paolo. Hello. And then we
Hello.
also have, yes, hello. We also have the president of the Chamber of Young Business Leaders at Bulacan State University. Wow. Taking up a big BSBA major in marketing, Pauline Guillermo. Hello, Jean.
Hello po, great afternoon, Mr. Valencia and Miss Ventimiglia.
So yeah, ask away. You have a lot of questions, I know. So
How can I
let's
help?
start. Yes, asking Mr. Valencia, Sir Carlo.
Okay, so my first question is regarding to what you just previously said. What is your take on focusing your attention on just one or two social media platforms? Especially as you've said, what if in one platform you're not having the amount of engagements you want? So do you put that off first and focus on just one or two, or do you strive to have a social media presence all throughout all available platforms?
In the long term, you want to be available everywhere as you're growing. But when you're starting, just whatever you're comfortable with. If you're always on Instagram, then start there. If you're always on Facebook, start there. But at the start, if you want to go Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, mamamatay ka, right? So kumaga, that's your Harvard. Like find your Harvard, right? And then be very good there, dominate that area, and then grow from there. I've actually personally not been able to expand outside of Facebook. I've had a bit of a roller coaster ride in my entrepreneurial adventures. Actually, one of the questions I saw was, what was your greatest achievement? I'm going to just segue to that. My greatest achievement is literally not going bankrupt or dying of hunger and being buried in debt despite all the other failures that I've had. And like I mentioned, like in this pandemic, we went down to the last, I don't know, like 5,000 pesos. Savings included, like no more savings, just 5,000 bucks. And then may dumating na project, and then may dumating na project, But what we were doing is creating content on Facebook. So I just doubled down on creating content because I didn't have work, right? But then again, I didn't also have teammates, so I only had a limited amount of time. So I just like Facebook lang tayo. Right. So when starting, one at a time, and then expand as you grow.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Thank you, Sir Carlo. So remember that choose your channel that will work best for you in your business.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then so we will now move on to Jean. Like
Mr. Valencia, yes po. For my first question, Mr. Valencia, regarding to the question of Miss Ventimiglia earlier, what if those students followed your advice in starting up a business? What do you think will be the advantage of entrepreneurs who will start their business today, like we're having a new normal or a new setup?
Mm. Sorry, go ahead. Na-excite ako sa tulong mo. Go ahead, finish your question.
Yeah, so what do you think will be the advantage of entrepreneurs who will start their business today with the new setup?
Airbnb started in the 2008 economic crisis. Like, think about that. And by the way, I think they just very recently announced that they're about to go into IPO. Right? So I think if you can start a business now, and I don't know if this is true, but the same Chinese character for crisis is the same Chinese character for opportunity. I don't know if that's really true or that's one of those cliched statements that I accepted as true.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
I was read about
that. Yeah. So there's also a saying that it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So I've been around for 6 years, 5 years. So I'm thinking like, konti na lang, right? Because the first few years are going to be really difficult. If you're in college, the beauty about starting in college is, you live with your parents. 99% of the time is you have an allowance, and the worst thing that happens is you run out of your allowance, but you can always go home and then eat food there, and you don't pay rent and anything. So take advantage of that, because when you're in your 20s, or especially when you're living by yourself now, you move out of your parents, you're paying for rent and all that good stuff. So don't let the crises stop you. And actually, I would flip that and say, let the crises, this lockdown, this crisis, this pandemic, make it the catalyst, right? Because now a lot of people have a lot of problems. Diba? So all you need to figure out is, what can you do to help these people with these problems?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
For
Sir
my
Carla, and thank you, Jean, for your question. Do we have any more follow-up questions? Juan Paolo?
yes,
Yes.
based on your experience on what we're experiencing right now, as well
Mhm.
as I guess an intelligent prediction for the future, what should graduating students expect both in a pandemic and post-pandemic condition?
My prediction is it's going to be hard to look for a job. That's number one. Even harder if you do not have digital marketing experience. I've not been in, like, I teach entrepreneurship, but I haven't been really exposed to like marketing majors. But the limited exposures I've had, it seems that the curriculum hasn't fully adopted to digital. So if you are only looking at, actually, can I ask you guys that? Like, do you have a course, a subject specifically for digital marketing? I'm gonna take no. I'm gonna take your blank answers as no. Right?
It's
So that's my recommendation for you: is start now. Like, this whole excuse of hindi kasi tinuro ni professor, it's not gonna work when you graduate. Wala kasi yun sa school namin eh. That's no longer their fault. That's your fault na. So you want to be like, if somebody says, "Do you have a Facebook page?" Yep. How many followers? 10,000. Right? How many groups have you created? How many, like, are you familiar with Facebook advertising? Do you know how to create an audience? Do you know how to create copy and images that actually get engagement? And then from there, kasi then you start launching into strategy, into the higher value stuff. But if you wait till you graduate and then that's the only time you start looking at digital marketing, and you're a marketing major, mapag-iiwanan ka. Because school is schools are, I don't have anything against schools, but schools are very institutional. So it takes a lot for them to change curriculums. Me teaching entrepreneurship in the school is actually considered a very progressive thing. Right? So there, that dude I told you about that we hired at 18, we were paying 40 grand. He self-taught himself Ruby on Rails. Now he's 24, he's getting 120 grand. Right? Because there aren't a lot of Ruby on Rails developers. He didn't learn that in school. He learned the foundations, the basics, right? HTML and, I don't know, computer science 101. But after that, siya na yung nag-isip ko anong gagawin. Actually, he has a really good technique, by the way. I'll share it with you guys. Is he starts with the difficult things. Like, he challenges himself. Recently, he learned how to play the guitar, or a couple of years ago. He jumped into jazz. And then working. So, syempre, hirap na hirap siya nung una. But eventually, he got it, and now he's a very good guitar player. So, same thing with you guys. I would, find something difficult to do around digital marketing.
Okay, so we heard that. Thank you, Sir Carlo, for that great advice. Any more questions from the panel? Jean, do you have a follow-up question?
Yes, ma'am. One last question for Mr. Valencia. Um,
Sure.
what advices can you give to all SMEs who's now engaging in social media platform running their businesses? Because nowadays, especially in this new setup, all of the business owners try to apply their business in social media. What advices can
Yeah.
you give like that?
Um, I'm gonna assume when you say as advice to SMEs, like people that already have a business and they're making sales using Facebook, start automating, right? Like start using, but don't just go into chatbots because it's what everybody's doing. But because the danger with chatbots is if you don't design it well, then you're kicking out in your mababad trip yung mga customers sa'yo kasi wala silang kausap na tao. But at the same time, you can sign up for e-commerce tools. Shopify is a very good tool here in the Philippines. There's this thing called Prosperna. It's like Shopify but built for Philippine merchants, built in the Philippines for Filipinos. I'm working with them, so just full disclosure, prosperna.com. I would start automating, but at the same time, also I would really create content that is useful. Just create content that's useful for people. So I'm just going to use the example. If you're selling t-shirts to students, you don't even need to talk about t-shirts. You can talk about the awesome things about the school. And then it's sponsored by your t-shirt company, right? So it's branded content. You're not saying, buy my t-shirts. What you're saying, our school is awesome. And then people will hear you, nagbebenta rin siyang t-shirt, matingnan nga yung website. Boom. Right? So you're creating awareness not by promoting yourself, but by promoting others. I think that's a really, really good power move. So rather than paying for advertising, which is exposure, like, pakinggan niyo ako, right? Essentially, you're essentially sharing useful content. So content marketing. Sorry, coming back to JP, your question earlier, that's another recommendation is learn content marketing. Because that's really really one of the strongest, most powerful things I've been able to do. What I'm doing now is content marketing. In a few years, some of you, or Miss Lynn maybe even, will need the company you work for will need something, oy, kailangan natin ng design thinking, kailangan natin ng innovation. I know this guy that used to do this talk in our school, Carlo Valencia. We should look for him. You do not know how many people have done that already. Like, sir, pwede ba kayo mag-talk sa akin? That's what made me survive last year. Pwede ba kayo mag-talk sa amin? Or, hey, Carlo, I need to train my people, business owners, on how to digitize. Can you run your workshop that you do for the public, but run it just for my team? Right? And then I was like, sure, let's talk about it. And then I'll give them a contract, and it's a project. Right? That's content marketing. It's long-term, but the returns are wow. Right? Long-term din yung returns. So there. Yeah. And then when people start coming, so if you're doing retail, definitely automate. Because I've seen also a lot, especially pag mga e-commerce, una kausap mo yung bumibili, di ba? And then send bank deposit, and then or screenshot, and then you add it to your tracker, and then you contact the delivery service, and you're coordinating with the buyer and the delivery service. If you're in a platform like a Lazada or a Shopify or Prosperna type of thing, all of that is streamlined and semi-automated. So depends on, but if you don't have any orders, no need to automate. So there. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Cool. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Carlo Valencia, our special guest for today and the founder of StatUp PH. And thanks also to Jean Pauline Guillermo of Bulacan State University and JP Juan Paolo Estaura of Asia Pacific College. Your questions are equally interesting and of course which were answered so expertly by Sir Valencia. And again, to all our marketistas in the audience, remember, well, again, looking at my notes here, some of the lessons that we can keep in mind are, of course, if you want to go into business, if you want to get into business, as Sir Carlo said, start now. Find your channel, find your niche, find your Harvard. So who are you going to find solutions for? Or what are you going to find solutions? Or what solutions are you going to find, and who are you going to find solutions for? So there, I hope I got that right, Sir Carla. And in spite of the crisis, make this transform. Consider this and transform this to be a catalyst.
Opportunity.
Make this as an opportunity. And yes, crisis equals opportunity. So let's keep that in mind. And when we have already started our business, of course, we need to sustain that power move. And we can do that by, of course, learning about digital marketing. And as the need or as the business needs it, consider starting automating. All right. So I hope we have. Yes, one
Sorry, can
more.
I have one more thing?
Sure.
I saw this read. I actually have a whole bunch of questions I wanted to answer, but this one question I saw. As a student who wants to start a startup, it's the capital from XE. The capital would be the problem for those who don't have na walang baon sa online class, right? Or are not able to save. And my answer to that is get pre-orders. So for example, if you want to sell cheesecakes, you make a poster of cheesecakes, you get people to pre-order. And sell it at tell them it's 500, but if you order now, it's only 350. All you need to do is make a deposit of 200, and then the 150 comes when we deliver, and then that's your capital. That's a really so pre-selling talaga is really valuable. Yeah. The other questions, I think I'll answer it via email and send it to the offices for sharing later on.
Yes, thank you, Sir Paolo, and please do. We would really appreciate as for sharing us your answers, because the questions just keep coming. And well, again, that's good because it just goes to show how interested our marketistas are in setting up their business in the future. And again, that's a very smart move and power move from a power answer from Sir Carlo. Thank you so much once again. And yes, so we will now move on to announcing the winners. And our PJMA board have already identified the winners. So please take it away. Thanks again, Sir Carlo. Thanks,
Thank
JP and team. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the winners' names are in. And we would like to say congratulations to Lorgeline Soriano. Congratulations, Lorgeline. You are our first winner. Next, we have Ian Christian Montianto. Congratulations, Ian Christian. Our third winner is John Carl Baltar. Congratulations. Our fourth winner is Miss Christine Joy Satrain. Congratulations. And finally, our fifth winner is Diana Espelimburgo. Congratulations. There you have it, our 5 winners for our marketing series game. Congratulations once again to our 5 winners, and our PJMA board and team will be getting in touch with you on how to claim your prizes. So that has been a very insightful and interesting and very engaging episode. We truly appreciate that you have spent your afternoon with us in the marketing series, and we look forward to having you again in the next 3 episodes of our marketing series. And again, um, just as I mentioned earlier, I've learned a lot from Sir Carlo. Thank you so much for sharing with us your insights and your expertise, and also learned a lot from the questions posed by JP and John Pauline, and the equally intelligent answers that we've heard from Sir Carlo. And I would just like to reiterate again that, as we plan for to start our small or medium scale business, remember that we should always look for problems worth solving. Your idea should always be an anchor to the problems that that we have identified. Find our niche, find our Harvard, and of course, if this also makes sense for you to identify your channel at this early, then please do so that you can always, ensure that you can see and test early on that if the project or the business that you want to run is going to be a success. Of course, keep the engagement going. Always run empathy tests. Always listen to what your target market would say about your product or even your idea, and that's how you can get that's how you can transform this into an opportunity to continuously polish your thoughts, your ideas, and your business plans. And then as you already get into step into the early stages of your business, always remember to look for further solutions and how you can transform every crisis or every problem that you might encounter into more opportunities for you to improve and be of better service to your market. And always remember, digital marketing is going to be very helpful as you start and as you sustain your business. So again, thank you so much, Mr. Carlo Valencia, the founder of StatUp PH, and you can get in touch with him at StatUpPHTraining.com. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. And this has been a very engaging time, a very engaging afternoon. And we would like to thank our guests from different Junior Marketing Association organizations or chapters. And I would like to thank our PJMA board and, of course, our sponsors for this episode. And we hope to see you again in the next episode next week. So again, thank you so much, and have a pleasant afternoon and the rest of your weekend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors: exclusive partners, High Rewards, The Wise Millennial, Thoughtful Philippines. Special thanks to Forever Healthy Products Incorporated, StatUp Philippines Training, Official Career Partner, Correx, Career Express Philippines. We would like to thank the following sponsors: exclusive partners, High Rewards, The Wise Millennial, Thoughtful Philippines. Special thanks to Forever Healthy Products Incorporated, StatUp Philippines Training, Official Career Partner, Correx, Career Express Philippines.